Welcome back to Butterfly Effect Tarot. My name is Lorraine. Today's topic is how will your future spouse's family and friends view you? There will be three piles. The timestamps for each pile will be in the description box in the comments section below. If the readings resonate, please feel free to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. If you're interested, you can return to the channel after this video to check out other videos, topics, and readings as well. I want to go ahead and thank you all for the support. As always, I will continue to thank you. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into each one of your readings. Welcome to your reading pile one regarding how will your future spouse's family and friends view you. I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. I'm going to identify the cards that came out and then we're going to get into your reading. So the first card out for you is the Page of Swords. It's followed by the Strength card, which is followed by the Sun. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, and the fifth and final card out is the Six of Pentacles, bottom of the deck energy, Knight of Pentacles. So, based off of these cards, I am getting that you will be viewed as someone in a high regard. Because with the Page of Swords energy, this suggests that you'll be viewed as maybe perhaps intelligent, intellectual, for example. You'll be viewed as someone that's strong, that is very influential. You'll be viewed as someone with power, inner power, and power that you have over others. Perhaps you'll be viewed as someone who has power and authority over your spouse. In regards of where they hold you to such a high regard and they have so much respect for you and so much trust that your word, especially with that Page of Swords and Strength, your words, what you say will have it'll carry a lot of weight with your spouse. It'll carry a lot of weight in general because this is focused on how they view you. With the Sun energy coming out, well, this will suggest that you are someone who is joyous and maybe playful, very warm, very loving, very nurturing. You'll be viewed as someone with a lot of compassion for others. I am getting the vibe with this Page of Swords, Strength, and Sun energy that it could be a situation that when you and your future spouse met, maybe they were in a bit of a dark place. Perhaps they were either had already ended a situation and it put them in a dark space, or they were at the end of coming out of that darkness. And I say that because with the Page of Swords coming through here, with the Strength and the Sun card, this is a very supportive type of energy. And I'm getting the vibe that you came in and your energy, your aura, your strength, your compassion, your words, I get the vibe that maybe you nurtured and loved and kind of spoke life back into your partner. You came in, like, especially with this Sun energy, and kind of created a rebirth. This person could have lost someone, like it could have been a death or a ending of a connection, but it was something that ended, like a cycle. And then you came in and created a rebirth and kind of brought like sunshine into your partner's life and helped them to find their strength and their inner strength and their inner guide, inner power with this strength energy. I'm also getting that we're going to go back to this really quickly. With this Page of Swords and Strength and Sun energy, there is something about your words, something about the way you communicate, right? So obviously you'd be viewed as intellectual, intelligent, but also the fact that your words, um, coming out with the Page of Swords coming out with such influence and power, and then the Sun energy, Sun is being bright. It's something that stands out. It's an energy that is seen. It's an energy that is powerful. And then the Strength card is a card of having influence and power over others and over yourself. There, perhaps you'll have a career, or there'll be something about you that you are seen or you're known, or at least you may have some sort of a prominent career where you're communicating or you're healing, because the Strength and the Page of Swords and the Sun card gives a very healing and nurturing energy. Strength card is a card of compassion and having power and influence to affect others. And then the Sun card is a card of rebirth and like a new outlook on like life. And then the Page of Swords is having a new perspective and providing a new perspective and using your voice to kind of communicate knowledge and wisdom. So yeah, there will be something about your voice. I just wanted to throw that out there. Maybe you could be a speaker or a coach or an influencer, something where your voice is going to be very important and it's going to be very known. It's going to stand out. You're going to have a lot of influence and power in your career or in whatever creative endeavor you go in. And that could be what you're known for. And that could be why you're being viewed this way, as someone with so much power and someone with such a healing energy. With the Page of Swords, they're going to view you as someone who has the ability and who does speak life and power and joy into others. You create a renewal in people with your voice, with your words, with your strength and your energy. So these people could also, again, hold you to a high regard. So maybe what you say, these people will also take for cash. These people will also maybe come to you for advice. This is, again, energy where maybe they view you as someone where you're an advisor or you're like a guide or something. Something about your voice, something about your energy, something about the way you speak, something about the way you communicate, the way you express yourself. It's going to be very influential to these people, and they're going to see you as someone who is either known or someone who should be known. With this sun energy, they're going to see you as someone that stands out. So they could also see you as beautiful and attractive. With this sun energy, with this strength card energy, they could see you as someone that's passionate and even sexy. And not necessarily in a, obviously this is your spouse's family and friends, but I mean this in a way where they will acknowledge that you are someone with a lot of magnetism and a lot of beauty, and that you shine very brightly, and you will be seen as someone that's balanced. They'll view you as someone that's balanced because strength energy is very assertive and is very forthcoming. The Page of Swords is someone who stands in their power and they speak up. And then with the sun energy, you will still be known as very playful and lighthearted and easygoing. And then you have the Two of Pentacles and Six of Pentacles coming out after. So again, they'll see you as someone who can balance both energies. When it's time to be serious and take care of business, you show up serious and you take care of business. You are no joke when it comes to tending to business. And then they will also see you with the sun energy as playful and lighthearted, someone they can have fun with, and you're very joyous and exciting, and fun to be around. So I think that they're going to see you as someone that balances out those energies. You could be someone that's very quirky, very funny, very humorous. You're just going to be seen as someone who is you have a very prominent personality, a very prominent energy. Also, with this Page of Swords strength card and this sun, you will be seen as someone that's very protective, someone that is very, especially with this Page of Swords and Strength card, someone that is very tentative, very protective over your spouse and the people you love. So especially if you guys have children, because sun energy can also represent, having children. So they'll see you as someone who will be very protective over your loved ones, very protective over yourself, very protective over your household. You could be the voice in your household. Even if your spouse leads or heads the household, you will be the one where you have the final say. With this Page of Swords energy, especially, what you say will be what goes type of dynamic. I think it'll be rare where these people will see your spouse kind of follow, other people's guidance over yours. I don't think that will ever happen, because with this type of energy, I think, again, you came in and kind of helped pull your spouse out of a darker energy, or you helped them to move on into a sun energy at the end of a dark time. And I don't think anyone else had the power to do so. So again, I feel like the level of trust and honor and respect that you hold, it's going to be something that allows you to have a level of power and influence over your entire household, but especially your spouse. Okay, now with this Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, you will be seen again as balanced and as someone that is an equal give and take. So you give just as well as you get. Also with this Six of Pentacles energy, you'll be seen as someone that takes care of others, and you're very generous. Perhaps, especially with the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom, you and your spouse will, maybe work together. It's possible. So perhaps they'll see you as a spouse, someone who works with your husband, and you guys equally work together to build up your business. But also with this Two of Pentacles and Six of Pentacles, you'll be viewed as a wife who works together with your husband they'll view you as someone who contributes equally to your household and your marriage, right? So even if you and your husband work separately and not building a business, if you work separately, you contribute the same amount of financial and material wealth as your husband, because the Six of Pentacles is about sharing wealth. So you will more than likely have quite a bit of material money and material and financial abundance. Also, you will contribute a lot in responsibilities. So you'll be someone who shares in responsibilities. They'll view you as someone who basically does the chores. You both do chores, you both cook, you both clean, you both tend to your kids, you both contribute to the bills. You'll just be seen as the perfect partner, right? I don't want to say these people will see you as perfect, but with this type of energy, I think that they will see you as the ideal partner. They will feel like your spouse lucked out. like he got lucky, like he really hit the jackpot when he got you. Because balancing out strength and sun energy is not always easy. A lot of times you can be very strong and stoic, and that's just who you are. So people don't necessarily see you as light and warm. But in your case, with this sun energy, you're being seen as being able to be in both energies. So you could be very adaptable, which would make sense because this Two of Pentacles is a card of being adaptable, being able to balance out multiple energies, multiple responsibilities. So I think that in your case, again, you're going to be seen as an all around ideal person. This is actually like a really healthy energy. There's no negative cards out here, none at all. And I think in your case, if you could already be this type of person, and then these people are viewing you this way because now you're with, their friend or their relative, and now they're able to get to know you on a certain level. But I just feel like your spouse, the way that your spouse loves you, the way that your spouse honors you, the way that they regard you, is going to translate with their relatives and their friends. The people around them are going to be able to see you through your partner's eyes, and they're going to treat you accordingly. Also, I just get the vibe with the level of energy I'm getting from this reading. I highly doubt any of these people would even take the risk of disrespecting you, because with this strength card and the level of energy that's coming from this entire read, I don't think your spouse is going to be someone that plays when it comes to you. I don't. I don't think, especially even though you're very, with this Page of Swords and Strength card, you could be someone who obviously stands their own grounds and speaks up for themselves. And you also will probably be viewed as someone who speaks up for your spouse and your children and, other people in general. But even with that being said, I don't think you'll have to, right? Like they'll know you're assertive and you stand your grounds, you're passionate and you're fiery. However, I think in your case, your spouse, whoever your spouse is, will be someone where if you're disrespected, especially by their family or friends, you won't have to speak up. Because with this sun energy, I just feel like your spouse sees you as strong, but also sees you as someone that's lighthearted and even a little bit sensitive to some degree, and will want to protect you. And I think with the family and friends dynamic, they would want to protect you too. I think they will see you again with this sun energy as someone that is worth protecting. Someone who loves to give to others, who loves to take care of others, who takes care of your spouse and your household, and who is just very kind and positive and strong and compassionate. And I get the vibe they'll want to protect that energy, and they'll want to protect you because they just see you as maybe someone in this world that is very rare. It is very rare to show up with this level of energy. Very rare. And so and again, with that coming out, I feel like your future spouses, family, and friends are going to view you as a rarity, as someone that, like a needle in a haystack, like your spouse got lucky again, like he or she hit the jackpot. Like this is so awesome. And again, you could already be in this energy. You could already be an intellectual person. You could already be a very powerful and strong-willed energy, someone that's passionate, perhaps someone that even has a certain level of magnetism or sex appeal. With this sun energy, you could already be somebody that stands out, somebody that is joyous and warm and fun-loving, but can be serious and passionate when necessary. You can already show up this way. And therefore, when you meet your future spouse, you will be even more in this energy and power, and perhaps even a certain level of notoriety or a career where, with this sun and this influence of strength, you're seen or you're known somehow, or you in your company or in your career, you are just be at the top because of this level of influence. And when you get with your partner, they will view you in that light. So they're going to see you for who you are. And again, they will see you, as I mentioned, through the way your spouse sees you. So I'm going to leave your reading there. If it resonated, please feel free to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. And if you're interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you. Welcome to your reading pile 2 regarding how will your future spouse's family and friends view you. I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. I'm going to identify the cards and then we're going to get into your reading. So the first card out for you is the Ace of Wands. It's followed by the Strength card, which is followed by the 8 of Pentacles. Then we have the Knight of Wands. And the fifth and final card out is the Two of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy is the World card. So there's a couple of different messages I'm getting from this. First and foremost, you'll be viewed as someone very passionate, very fiery, someone who is very much in control, very determined, very magnetic. So maybe you could have an aura of a sex appeal about you. Very maybe very sensual, someone very seductive in a way. Um, in this dynamic, you could be viewed as maybe a trophy wife, right? Just for an example, like you're attractive, okay? I just wanted to make that clear. Now, when we go into the reading, I get the vibe that with the Eight of Pentacles, your partner could have been someone that was very much a slower moving energy, right? So his family and friends may have observed him in the past in connections take his time getting to know people and take his time moving into connections and take his times in the connections, right? And then obviously maybe those never worked out because again, the Eight of Pentacles is a card of high standards. So maybe he or she is someone with high standards, and so it just never worked. Now, with the Eight of Pentacles, this suggested that perhaps your partner is someone who was focused on work and making money and building their empire, maybe not really focused on love or connections. And then with this Ace of Wands and this Strength card coming out, and then the Knight of Wands going into the Two of Cups at the end, you come in and this connection takes off. So perhaps this is the first time they've seen your spouse move into a relationship this fast. But not only did this person move into a relationship, they moved into this marriage and this partnership and this long-term commitment very quickly. This would suggest that with this energy, your partner is someone who, again, like I mentioned, moves slow. But with Knight of Wands and the World card at the bottom and the Ace of Wands energy, now they're seeing your spouse as someone who likes to travel. They like to explore. They like to take risks. They like to do things that are exciting. They're more lit up. There's more of a sensual, sexy aura about them. This connection is very passionate, very sexy, very intense. Nothing like maybe nothing like their previous connections, right? So now they're seeing that you have come in and transformed your spouse. You've transformed the way they see the world, because again, the World card is at the end, and then the Knight of Wands is an adventurous energy. So maybe you're coming in here and transforming the way they see the world, the way they go about the world. Now they're traveling. Now they're wanting to explore. Now they're wanting to build memories. Now they're taking risk and doing things that is so unorthodox. And then again, the Strength card is a card of influence and subtle power and control. So you would also be perceived as someone who has power and control and an influence over your partner, which is obvious since this person has transformed and has become someone that they, never knew they could be. Now, 9 times out of 10, this person had always probably had that energy in them, but perhaps no one before you had ever been able to bring it out. You're being viewed as someone who came in and brought out a whole nother side of your spouse, you know, and with the Two of Cups at the end and the World card at the bottom, perhaps they're viewing you as spoiled. So I'm getting the vibe again with that Eight of Pentacles. Perhaps your spouse has a lot of money. So perhaps your spouse spoils you. Again, and if you're being viewed as a trophy wife, then this would also suggest that you're someone who gets a lot, right? You're someone where your spouse gives to you. They want to give you the world. They want to, make sure you're happy. Your spouse is also seeing you as the world, which would make sense as to why you were able to come in and take their focus from work and, then basically take a risk of jumping headfirst into this connection with you. This could be a spiritual connection with all this Wands energy. This could be a very deep and intense soulful connection. This could be love at first sight, okay? Or this could be a dynamic where you met and the energy, chemistry, and the dynamic took off very quickly because of how powerful with this Strength energy and this Wands energy. It's like you two were like two flames, right? Meeting together to initiate this huge flame. So perhaps your spouse, they had observed your spouse in the past relationships and no one ever really matched them, right? Or they kind of played it safe and went after certain people who were more like them, but it was never anything that inspired them to want to spend the rest of their lives with those energies. Whereas with you, you could be the polar opposite of your spouse, where you're more fiery, more exciting, more loving, more driven, and then your partner is someone who's a bit more focused, right? A little bit more focused on the coin, okay? Or it could be vice versa. Take it as it resonates. But based on this reading, you'll be seen as the apple of your spouse's eye. Your spouse will see you as the world. Someone who was focused on money and building and not really overly concerned about partnerships or relationships will go from that to only focused on you. You will be the joy of their life. Their excitement and their will and their zest for life will stem from your connection. And this could be something that your spouse has never experienced. And you come in and your energy meets their energy, and it's almost like you light it's almost like you light a flame to them. It's almost like you light up something inside of them, and it shines from the inside out. Or this exploring, adventurous type of dynamic and passionate, deep, sensual energy in your spouse has always been dormant in them because maybe the way they were raised, or this is just their environment. And then you come in, and this innate energy in them becomes more prominent, and now everyone can see it. Perhaps your energy being so free flowing and free spirited encourages your spouse to be free spirited because they're feeded off of that energy. And since you two are obviously a match made with this Knight of Wands into the Two of Cups, also the Ace of Wands at the beginning being the card of one, a passionate new connection, and then the Two of Wands at the end, the Two of Cups at the end being a passionate marriage and union. Yeah, you two could just again be a very spiritually soulful connection, and that's why your spouse feeding off of your energy would make sense. So you'd be viewed as you would basically be viewed as someone who came in and transformed your spouse. You'd be viewed as someone who has a lot of power, control, and influence over your spouse. You'll be viewed as someone that's very attractive, very sensual, maybe someone who's very determined. You as well would more than likely be viewed as hardworking, very diligent. You could be viewed as someone who is determined to get what you want with all this Wands energy. You could be viewed as someone who is very again, maybe you'll be viewed as very free spirited, like I said, because this all this Wands energy just gives the implication that you'll be seen as someone who kind of flows with life in a way, but in a passionate way, right? Because you have a flow through life dynamic where people flow through life in a kind of a mellow, easygoing way. And while you may be that way with all this Wands energy, you are very maybe like a king or queen of Wands type of energy. Like you would kind of give that dynamic. Someone who is very strong, someone who's very authoritative, someone who their presence commands attention. So you would also be seen as someone who stands out. Like maybe if you don't speak a lot, your presence, your energy, your facial expressions, your body, everything about you kind of speaks for you. And I believe your future spouse's family and friends will observe and see this energy in you. They will understand why your future spouse is so attracted to you and why your connection is so intense. They'll get it just by looking at you. And I don't mean that in a shallow way, because your passionate energy, your sensual, magnetic energy is not so much just about your physical looks and such. Is something that's within you. It's something about your energy that is from the inside out. So it's you can tell that this energy is not just him or she being attracted to your looks and your sensuality. They're being attracted to your soul, and that's essentially what their friends and family will see. Okay, so again, you'll be viewed as someone where by their friends and family where you came in and transformed this person and basically pulled out their more adventurous, happy side. You came in and brought in joy and excitement and exhilaration and fun and thrills. You know, maybe this is someone who was maybe stoic and didn't like to go out a lot or didn't like to have a lot of fun. And now with you, they're exploring the world and they're just, living their best life. Okay. So that's all I'm gonna go ahead and say for this reading. If it resonated, please feel free to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. And if interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you. Welcome to your reading pile 3 regarding how will your future spouse's family and friends view you. I've already pre-shuffled and pulled 5 cards. We're going to identify those cards and then we're going to go ahead and get into your message. So the first card out for you is the Page of Swords. It's followed by the Page of Pentacles, which is followed by the Queen of Swords. And then we have out here the Seven of Wands. Fifth and final card out is the Judgment card. Bottom of the deck energy is Death. So the message I'm getting here, I'm getting a couple of messages and I'm going to try to unfold each one as seamlessly as possible. First and foremost, you're going to be seen as someone with a lot of authority, a lot of respect, and someone with a lot of wisdom. You're going to be seen as maybe someone that's like a student of life. You're going to be seen, especially with this Queen of Swords energy, as someone who follows their own mind, their own guidance, someone who seeks their own counsel, and someone where others come to you for counsel. So when it comes to your future spouse's family and friends, there's a Seven of Wands card that comes out here, and then it's followed by the Judgment card after this Queen of Swords. So with the Seven of Wands, it's a card of protection, maintaining control. It's a card of being defensive. And the card is the wands, and he's backing these people off, their opinions, their thoughts, what they have to say. So I do feel like when it comes to your future spouse's family and friends, there's going to be a portion of them who view you in a very high honor. They have a lot of respect for you, and they could come to you a lot and entrust you with their concerns and their fears, and they could seek a lot of spiritual and mental guidance from you and a lot of clarity. There will be another group. This could be one or two people, and I'm not sure if this will be maybe family and or friends, but there will be a very select group of people who maybe with the Seven of Wands energy are a bit intimidated by this Queen of Swords energy. Because Queen of Swords is very outspoken. She says what's on her mind and she follows her own advice. She's not really concerned with what other people's advice or what they have to say is. Okay, especially with this Page of Swords. You're someone who seeks a lot of knowledge, and you've absorbed a lot. And you have various ways to communicate, and you have different ways of looking at situations, which is why you've become the Queen of Swords energy. But a lot of people could be intimidated by that energy because maybe they'll see you as someone who's a know-it-all, or they could just be jealous or intimidated of the fact that you're viewed in such a high light by other relatives and friends of your spouses, right? And so those people could have opinions, whether they're sharing it with you or whether they're sharing it with your future spouse. Your future spouse will be very passionately and intensely protective of you. With Seven of Wands, he will not play. Any of these people, whether it be one or two of them, if they try you with this Seven of Wands energy and then the Judgment, these people making their judgment calls about your energy, about you being too closed off, about you being too stoic, about you like in a state to yourself too much, or about you being too much in a powerful energy, or you having speaking too much of your mind. Your future spouse is going to be fiercely protective of you. And it doesn't matter if it's a family or a friend. One, two, three, it doesn't matter who it is. Your future spouse will be willing to burn any and every bridge that is necessary to protect you and to protect your power and to protect the power, influence, and the confidence that you carry. You will be a very well protected woman. And what mind you, with the Queen of Swords energy, you're powerful, okay? So you are powerful, you can stand your own ground and you speak up for yourself. But with this dynamic, I don't think that it's going to be a situation where you're going to have to. And in cases where you do, these people may try to come at you harder with this Wands energy, and then that's when your future spouse sets in and he burns every bridge. These people will be nothing to him. And it doesn't matter how long he's known them, because with this Queen of Swords energy, you may have, like the other piles, a lot of power and influence over your spouse, but it's because you have such a spiritual energy. Death being at the bottom, and then the Judgment at the end, and then you coming out as the Queen of Swords energy. You by his family and friends, you'll be viewed as someone with a lot of wisdom. You'll be viewed as someone that's constantly transforming. Also, I get the vibe you will be someone that is very protective over your spouse and very protective over your household and very protective in private over yourself. You'll be very private, very introverted, kind of closed off, kind of detached, where maybe only your spouse and if you have children, only your immediate loved ones will be able to really see the other energy that you offer. So if you're more playful and down to earth, only those closest to you will see it. So perhaps a lot of his family and friends, or at least the ones that have this intimidation factor with you, they may not be able to see that side of you because you don't trust them. The Queen of Swords does not trust easily. She doesn't trust a whole lot of people. And so with that being said, you tend to be very protective of yourself and your loved ones. And so you may also be a couple where you don't speak a lot about your business, and you specifically are very careful and cautious about who you talk to and who you speak to and what you allow to be spoken of about you and your image and your marriage, basically. So yeah, when it comes to your future spouses, family, and friends, there'll be a couple of people that may have an intimidation with you. They may not care for your energy, and it doesn't look like you really care, and it doesn't look like your spouse is going to care either. If anything, it may cause your spouse to want to cut those energies out because they may feel like they're posing a threat to your relationship and to you, and they're not going to want that. They're going to want to protect that strength that you carry. And again, like I mentioned before, you could be seen as someone who transforms a lot with this death card. So every time their family and friends see you, you're different somehow. Maybe they can't pinpoint that it's a rebirth or a spiritual transformation, but you maybe create your own endings and go through your own transformations. And every time they see you, you're wiser, or you're more glowing, or your energy is more stronger, but there's always maybe something different about you every time they see you. Again, a student of life. So you're constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly evolving. Every cycle you go through, it's like you in that cycle and you start a new one of more learning, more wisdom, more knowledge, more growth. With the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles coming out here with the Queen of Swords, perhaps you could also be someone who uses your wisdom, your knowledge, and your energy, your voice to make money, right? Because the Page of Swords is about newer ways, new perspective, newer ways of communicating, learning knowledge and communicating that knowledge, or taking in a lot of knowledge, right? Like a student who absorbs a lot of information. And since he's the Page of Swords and you're coming out as the Queen of Swords, this would go hand in hand. So this would mean that you absorbed a lot, you've learned a lot, maybe from life lessons, or maybe you went to school for something. But then when the Page of Pentacles comes out, this is someone who manifests and attracts in money for something. They develop skills and develop knowledge and wisdom on how to move forward to draw in money. And then you have the Queen of Swords. So maybe perhaps you work in either one of the careers I'm finna name, or you have the archetype and energy of someone within those fields. So perhaps maybe you would be someone at that point, or even now, that's like maybe someone in the legal field, right? Or in psychology, maybe you're a professor or a teacher, or maybe you're a therapist or a guidance counselor. Perhaps you're a judge or a lawyer or a paralegal or a mediator, a police officer, military, something where your voice is communicated, as a motivational speaker, an author, but something where you may help people to transform their lives, right? So you go through transformations and you learn and absorb wisdom and knowledge that strengthens your mind and strengthens you spiritually. And then it seems like you use that energy to help other people go through death and rebirth, go help other people to transform spiritually and have new beginnings with that Judgment card. And you are seen as a wise counselor. You're seen as someone that is very trusted in this field because you have had personal experience and you continue to evolve and have personal experience in this issue. So you could also be like a spiritual guru or something along those lines. I mean, obviously, if it resonates, let me know. If you are not in those fields at that time, or if you don't plan to work in those fields, you would have the energy and archetype of someone who would do very well in those fields because you would have all of the knowledge and the wisdom that it takes to make money in those fields. But that's how you'd be viewed, as someone very highly spiritual, very closed off, very detached, very much to yourself, very much an observer, someone who likes to observe and take in and learn and understand people, very private, very protective and defensive over yourself, over your spouse, over your children if you have them, over your household, very protective over your marriage and your union, very protective about your money and everything that concerns you, but always evolving, always growing, and always being open for other people to offer a shoulder to cry on or offer words of wisdom. Okay. And there will be a group of his family and friends or her family and friends that are very much intimidated by that. And from what I can see, you're going to be willing to speak out, and he's especially going to be willing to speak up, he or she, whoever your spouse is. But there's going to be even more of their family and friends that I get the vibe are going to be drawn to your energy. And that could be why there's a smaller portion that may have dislike for you because of how much, admiration and respect and honor you're getting from the majority of the family and friends, of your future spouse, especially with this Page of Swords and Page of Pentacles. This could also suggest that that's the larger portion of his family that come to you to learn and absorb your wisdom and learn skills on how to transform, how to change, how to evolve. And you provide judgment, influence, and you have power over them because of that. Not in a bad way, but in a way where it helps them to evolve and grow. And like I said, there's a smaller group of family and friends that may not like that very much because maybe they want that power and control. And then here you come out of nowhere, as maybe not even a relative per se, and they've given you all this power and control and trust over their opinions and how they feel and where they're going and how they can move. And it's just, this to me is a beautiful energy. Despite that Seven of Wands energy of people that have in their opinions and whatever, despite that, your energy is very beautiful. This is a very, it's kind of giving me like a Hierophant, high priestess type of vibe. Like, I love it. You're gonna just you have a very spiritual aura, or at the very least, by the time you meet your future spouse, you will have a very spiritual aura. But you're gonna be very well respected, and it'll be split on top on how his friends and family view you. Some will love and honor this, and they will try to absorb as much from your wisdom as they can. And then there'll be a portion that may not like it. And I don't really think you're going to care. And neither is your spouse. But I'm going to leave your message there. And if it resonated, please feel free to like, subscribe, let me know in the comments. And if interested, you can return to the channel for other topics, other videos, and other readings. Thank you.